guys, and welcome back to the Bloodborne Blind Playthrough with me, Hollow. We have 7 blood vials, and this blood of Ariana. We have this whole section over here, and I have recently discovered that there is a sort of lower section underneath the main sort of cathedral there, the bell tower, sorry, which I require a password for. As indicated via the gold pendant, this pendant passed down among the vicars who head the healing church is a reminder of the cautionary adage, words that will open the gates of Byrgenwerth. So Byrgenwerth is actually a place we can go to in the game, and apparently it's locked and sealed to those who do not know the secret password, etc, etc. But we know that secret password now, thanks to the vicar and how it was inscribed on her golden pendant. You know, the giant wolf woman we sort of murdered in somewhat cold blood. It was a little bit messed up, I admit. Ooh. Who are you? Who are you? Oh. You look like a hunter. A hunter who is most definitely not friendly. Who has buffed his weapon with what sounds like an electric charge. Oh no, he's just got the electric charge weapon as a weapon. Very interesting. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. We're going to have a fight on the roof. I tell a lie. We ain't having a fight on the roof. I want to go over here. It's right on my tail. I want to get that cold blood. Oh my god, there's 2 of them. Alright, I figured since there's 2 of them, this is the perfect time to attack right now. Oh boy. Ow. Ow. I really do fail to avoid blunderbuss shots from other hunters for whatever reason. Alright, it was super important that I got that first kill while this guy was running over here. He has a shield. Don't you know they're shit? Alright, so gonna be very careful about this. Just do some nice attacks, get some space, land the hits where I can. There we go. Alright, no problem. Okay, 2 things to know. There was 2 hunters, okay? 2 hunters. Both of them were wearing the armor of the Snatchers. The hunters who hunt people rather than beasts. Hunters only, you know, said in the very specific and, you know, whatever it's called. Let me quote it to you. Hunters, blah, blah, blah. Shadow their eyes. Not what I wanted. How about this one? Hunters in name only, these kidnappers blend into the night wearing this attire. Yeah, there we go. So I'm going to show you the armor just 1 second here, but I'm going to swap out of it before I go to that door. Yeah, they were wearing this garb with the iron sort of helm there that protects them. Does that mean that they are specifically living, or were living, I suppose, since I've just killed them, remnants of this group? The black garb wearers, the Yargle. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. It's very likely I am, isn't it? We all know how I like to pronounce things. I don't. Yeah, so I heard them with the electric charge, and I was like, oh, maybe they've actually used paper to electrify their weapons. But no, apparently they actually have the Tontilus, or whatever it's called. Ah, words. You elude me. Okay, who is in here? To say that there was 2 Snatchers. Well, they weren't specifically Snatchers, but hunters of people, kidnappers, I suppose, were outside of your door. Who are you, and why were they here? Well, that gives us all the information we needed. Wow, great, great. Alright, there's another topic that I want to bring up now, once I go to this door, in the hopes of a more sane person. These noises, man. Alright, so I got some bad news that I may have talked about before, in fact, though I don't think I did. So let's talk, shall we? Basically, it would seem the more bosses, specifically bosses, that you defeat, the deeper you go into the night. I recall how close that moon was It was very close. It was to the point where I was thinking it was dawn. But no, it was just because the moon was so close that it was actually illuminating the land and making the area very visible. And not necessarily bright or dawn, but it had that feeling of, oh, you know, this is near, we're getting closer to daytime. But that just wasn't true. The reflection of the moon was so strong because of how close it was. We were actually barely into the night. You know, the moon just rose and it was very close. As we defeated more bosses, the night progressed, the moon moved away, and everyone started to get more crazy and crazy as the night went on. The beast blood or whatever that's been infecting them has caused them to lose their sanity and be completely batshit insane. Now, that woman that we spoke to back in the lane, channel lane, she would have actually talked to us if we'd gone there right away. And obviously, because this is a blind playthrough, that's just unfortunately not what happened based on chance. But it's interesting to think about that I could have actually spoke to her and maybe got some lore. And it seems like also here, these two people are completely insane. And I reckon I would have been able to speak to them if I got to them here before defeating X amount of bosses. Which kind of sucks for me, honestly, because I miss out on lore. I apologise for the plane going by, but unfortunately, I don't have the power to control planes just yet, anyway. We saw a lot of people commenting on the last few videos while we're going through Channel Lane, talking about the bone ash that empowers your weapon, the bone marrow ash. The reason that was so popular in that area is because there was so many dead people. So many corpses, and a lot of people were saying that they think perhaps the reason there's so many bodies hanging and so many gravestones and whatnot is because there's so many people who died there. Oh, here, mate. How's it going? Killed you pretty quick compared to the normal ones. Blood shards. Must be a lower level area. Wish I'd come here first now. It's too bad. It's that light down there. See the muddy tracks on that ground, that earth down there. Getting closer to this huge building. Anyway, yeah, they had so many corpses, so many gravestones, and what a few people had said, and sort of I agree with, I suppose, is the theory that there was all those bodies hung up so that they would decompose and become skeletons, and then they could use the bones of the skeletons for the ash. Some other people made some other interesting theories as to why there were so many bodies there, and it was because perhaps the bone marrow ash was so popular and used by the hunters that they had such a high demand that perhaps they started killing off their civilians to make more skeletons for the more bone marrow ash, and then that ended up having the whole town sort of like barely having any populace left and so many dead everywhere that it was too much to keep up with. That second sort of theory there doesn't have quite as much weight behind it, I don't believe. I definitely agree with the notion that they had so many people hung up for the bone marrow ash, and how the bone marrow ash was made is just from collecting from the bones of dead. But I don't really know how valid the second theory is, you know. The fuck? There's two guys up here. It's almost like a platform I could drop down to. I am very interested by that. I want to go back and see if I can drop down and take them out. If that prevents them from ambushing me and giving me a world of pain while I'm fighting those executioners, it's worth the time and effort to take a small detour and just see if I can get there. Check this out. I completely missed this. Whoa! It's a fucking snatcher! Oh, shit. I did not expect to see you here. But I suppose, really, why didn't I? We already had the indication that there was the kidnappers in this area due to the fact that we saw and fought two of them, the hunter people. They were definitely weaker than actual hunters, by the way. They fought as if they were hunters, but they definitely aren't actual hunters. They couldn't be considered the same class of fighter as a hunter. Yeah, I'm glad that I came here. We got to see the kidnapper there, the snatcher, and we got, well, some fairly useless loot for me, but whatever. Maybe I'll upgrade a separate weapon. Yeah, look at that. Just because I took a second to look around. Oh, that was bad, wasn't it? Could have done that while smooth it. Ah, well. Come here, bitch! Yeah! Oh, damn. That hurt. Break his block there. Okay. Alright. Yeah, just by paying a little bit of attention, I managed to see those guys up there before I was even ambushed, and found an area I missed. It's interesting to note that, you know, even though I do explore as many corners as I can. Here, look, it's those doors that I looked down at last time at the end of the episode. Wide open. Very small door for such a big building, don't you think? Oh well. Yeah, just by having a look around, I managed to spot that. Oh, crap. Oh my god, there's two. Ah, this is not worth it. Ah, son of a bitch. Ah, the camera angles are not doing me justice here. It's a very tight area. Okay, let's do it. Ah, son of a bitch. See, the reason I'm charging power attacks there on those guys is because it's a one-hit kill. That was pretty shitty. An executioner with two of those gem guys, or stone shards, whatever, coming from both sides. Didn't get either of them, trying to desperately get them. Tagging was bad, the movement was bad. That was just, honestly, I apologize for my play there. That was pretty embarrassing. Sudden change of atmosphere there. Have a listen. You hear that? The wind completely stops as we enter this building. It's a small thing, I know, and it makes complete sense and you would expect it in games, but a lot of games don't do that. Sudden stop of wind, because we're technically not outside anymore, so we shouldn't have wind pressing against us. And again, I know it makes sense, but a lot of games don't do that. So there's the bell tower up there. No longer illuminated from this angle at very least. Okay, let's go inside. Lead elixir off the body of potentially a hunter. Not sure if he is one though, to be honest. Not convinced. Lead elixir. We have blue elixir, as we know. The hunters able to retain consciousness by force of will make use of a second effect of this medicine, which dilutes their presence while standing still. So that sort of is a stealth-related thing, it seems. And this is a heavy syrup liquid medicine. Temporarily shift weight to make deflection of attacks easier, but must be used with care, as it also slows movement with no change to defense. Its recipe for this mysterious concoction is unknown, but some postulate that it materializes only within the most desperate nightmares. Weird. It allows you to deflect attacks, yet doesn't raise your defense, and makes it harder for you to move and dodge, so it forces you to take the brunt of an attack. What is this room? I also want to note that it said something about the nightmare. That's where it's made, the stuff. We're slowly sort of learning that there is some sort of nightmare in this game. And I don't think we've quite come to it yet. But there have been a few situations where I've felt, is this a fucking nightmare? I haven't used my gun much in a few episodes. I apologise for that, a few of you have been noticing. It's because I feel like parrying every single enemy sort of takes away from the experience of the fight. It makes it a little bit cheese, you know? Makes it a bit too easy. But I will be doing a bit more of it in the future episodes, I hope. What is this? This looks like a ritual to me. Wish I could look up higher. I get that creeping sensation right now while we're in this room that something's gonna drop down on me. That's why I'm looking around. Well, I'm looking around for various reasons. Some sort of base in here. In the center. With candles. Ah, look! It's candles all around, but what it seems to be, that like pile of white goop or whatever it is, it looks like it's actually wax from candles that has melted over a long period of... Yeah, look, it definitely looks like it's the wax off that candle, but there must have been a big candle in the center of that for that much wax, surely. Let's have a look around. We have these hooded statues here, praying, with their hands sort of up in the air. We never knew why all the statues seem to be, like, in similar sort of stances like that, where they are praying to something up and above them. You know, it could be just a statue or some sort of god symbol that's higher up, and so they have to look up, whatever. But we don't really see what it is at any point that they're praying to. I guess my only indication of what they could be praying to is maybe the moon, because there's a lot of stuff to do with that. Oh, fuck. That portal was identical to the one of the giant sort of thing that grabbed us many episodes ago. In fact, when we were wearing this armor, where we picked up the armor we're wearing right now, the clothing rather than armor, where we picked up this clothing, we saw the exact same portal opening up. Alright, what I'm gonna do, that door's clearly closed and I can't go here yet. Perhaps I've come the wrong way. Perhaps I wasn't supposed to come this way just yet. I'm gonna put on every last bit of physical defense armor that we have, which is, as we know, the Yargle armor. That is a high sort of physical protection armor. It's quite heavy. And I'm gonna heal to full health. And I'm gonna willingly let this thing grab me, just to see what it does. I don't like this. Whoa! Oh! The portal that allows that thing to grab me. We've seen that there was another type of enemy like that somewhere that grabbed us and crushed us, but it did not kill me last time. I got a good look at that one that time, instead of just a hand. We saw the clear sort of squid and ugly face of what we assume right now are the Great Ones. I think clearly that was a remnant of a Great One, if not a Great One itself. They exist in this world. They're still here. And one resides in that room. And in fact, while we're right here, one resides right there in that gap, stood there, grabbing me, grabbing people. One's right there. Perhaps that's what was revealed when we finally reach 40 insight. Specifically, that might be it. We might be able to start seeing just the Great Ones just all around this whole area. I'm going to go back there, claim my blood echoes, and look for Bergenworth. But a big part of me wants to just pop all of my Madman's Knowledge, go to 40 insight and test that theory now. But I want to point out that the game gets much harder when you get more and more insight, apparently. We have seen some evidence of that with those cleric-type people actually shooting their lanterns at you and getting new attacks and just being harder as opponents as a whole. So it might be a bad idea to do that, but that's a theory I want to test. While I travel back, I just want to acknowledge the reason why I don't use my gun anywhere to the point that I used to. I think that definitely the reason why I don't is because this sword is just, to me, so much better used two-hand. Perhaps I need to start making use of this smaller version a lot more, because it is still good. It just does so much less damage. I just feel so much better when I'm using the two-hand, like especially against a snatcher, for example, like these guys. I can stagger and hit them and kill them with such ease when it comes to using the two-hand version of the weapon, and using the one hand just feels so much worse to me, for whatever reason, as I labelled a few there, I suppose. mean, how easy was that kill there? Using the one hand, it would have taken so much more effort and pain to take him down. And, you know, while I'm using this two-hand, I can't use my gun. So, perhaps that's why I don't use it as much. Alright guys, well, I got both of them this time, fortunately, with, you know, a little bit of preparation, knowing they were coming. It wasn't actually anywhere near as difficult to pull that off. And we're back. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my blood echoes. Run the fuck away from the door. It feels wrong even being in this room right now, knowing that thing's there. A big part of me thinks, what if I use this insight, right? And I just see it, and it becomes like a boss battle or something. Either way, we're about to find out. So those of you who are constantly begging me to use these Madman knowledge, you better be happy about this, because it's about to happen. I'm not sure it's going to work out. I think I need 17. Yep, 40. God, I don't even want to go down there, man. I know it's there. I can't see it and I have 40 insight, guys. I thought, apparently that's the magic number. Apparently that's the magic number that I needed to be aware of, but as for now, I can't see it. You know, maybe I need to reload the game, or, you know, maybe I need to rest a lantern before it'll, like, take hold. I'm gonna go test at the other area where there's another big guy that we know of that potentially is a great one. See if that has anything. There's actually a guy down here I didn't know. Like a little alcove here where there was one of those guys, and it had 3 basic bloodstone shards, so I guess it expects you to come this way much earlier in the game than I did. So we're now back in front of the bell tower, where we saw these creepy ass statues of what we think are the Great Ones, these squid type people. And hey, it made me think, you know, there's the squid type people. There are actually a few of them in almost human form, or like the size of a human, at least, is what I want to say. They're the size of a human, except they have these squid-type faces, and it's just creepy as shit, right? But we don't really know how they came to be, but at very least we know they're like the humanoid version of Great Ones, it would seem. Alright, we're back in front of the chapel. I'm gonna have a word with everyone in the chapel, but that's right there where the big thing's supposed to be. The what we think is a Great One. Everyone seems to be accounted for in here. I have another quick peek. It feels so wrong now. Like, it feels wrong. It's like right there. We know there's some big thing stood there, shadowed, and I thought it was going to be revealed when we had 40 insight, but clearly not. But it feels weird knowing that something's right there watching us.
How did we ever get into this mess?
Well, she's not much use.
Brave hunter. What is it? Have you renewed thoughts on this matter?
It's interesting that you can't have her blood and Ariana's blood at the same time, isn't it?
Forgive me, I should have known better.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to refuse you.
Brave hunter do with lowly blood like mine?
Oh man, I feel bad.
Please.
No, I want to make her happy. I'm going to use that blood. I want to see what she says.
Yes, of course. Coming close. Now. Take my blood.
Jesus Christ, it's so weird. It's so weird.
Brave hunter, please give me a little more time. There are others in need of my blood.
Okay. Let's have a look at the description of her blood. Might give us some insight onto her or the church, perhaps. Blood taken from Adela, nun of the healing church. Restores an amount of HP, then continuously and gradually restores HP for a short amount of time. So it's an overtime heal on top of the insta-heal that you get from it. That's pretty good. The healing church nuns are chosen for their merit as vessels of blood and groomed as blood saints. The mere chance of being treated with their blood lends legitimacy to the healing church and communion. Interesting. They're sort of like brought up to give their blood almost, it would seem. And it's considered highly valuable blood, in fact. Nothing new from her. And you, creepy fellow?
There ain't no more survivors, yo.
Alright, okay. Not too much new going on in here then. Time for us to explore and see if we can't find the Bergenworth area. So, while I'm looking for this area, I figured, you know, it's been a while since I said I wanted to go back and speak to Alfred and see if he has anything new to say. You know, he's somewhere in this area, nearby. It's been a long while, you know. I spoke to him once, and I've said I want to speak to him again for a long time. So it's about time we do that. Okay, well, we've returned. This is where Alfred was. And he's been here for a long while, I know, but he's not here anymore. I wonder where he went. We have no indication of where he went, as far as I'm aware. So, I don't know where the chap's found himself. You know, I've looked around Uden Chapel and I don't think he's in there. He could be. Maybe I missed him. But if you've any advice, guys, on where to find Alfred next, or should I just be patient and he'll show up as I play, maybe? Do let me know. But yeah, no spoilers, please. I didn't know there was a snatcher here, and in fact, I would say there wasn't. I would say there was not a snatcher here. Oh my god, hang on. So, okay, so we come down here. This is the building. And right there's where Alfred was praying to that thing, and he's gone now. And now there's a snatcher here. There wasn't. I got that loot without a snatcher ever seeing a snatcher. He's new. Have you kidnapped Alfred? You piece of shit. He must have done. He must have kidnapped Alfred. Who gave you that right? I wonder if Alfred's just in that bag. No, I doubt it. So that means maybe to find Alfred, we're going to need to go back to the jail area. That creepy ass place with the creepy music. And maybe we'll find him somewhere there. Okay. Another change. This fellow appears to be asleep now. Yep, he's up. He's gone now. But he was sleeping. Weird. Okay, I'm just gonna keep looking around. You know, we're seeing some clear changes, I suppose. Pretty weird, though. Now, there's this corridor here behind this sleeping one at the other side of this courtyard that I did not notice before. Also, I want to test. Are you passive? No, you're not. Okay. The other one sort of just looked at me for a, to say the least, a lengthy period of time. So much so that I had thought maybe these were passive at this time of night, or the insight, whatever's causing this. But no, he was just looking at me strangely for a while. Either way, I don't recall this area immediately. Oh my god. So this is where that creepy guy is. Oh my god. He tried to grab me. So gangly and thin. And look, there's an incision on his head. Almost like a mouth. Just silver bullets, alright. He was hiding here in this... I've not been here before. So down here is where the ambush was. I recognise that. Some more loot over here. Good to have found this area. 12 shining coins. That's a lot. No, there's no way I've been this way before. Not a chance. What's that? I recognise that as the banging of the fool that was in that alleyway. Yeah, look, it's the misty alleyway that we walked down. We met the woman of the night and that other jerk guy that said something that, like he was living in a castle. So, yeah, look at that. Amazing level design. We're in a corridor that was going over that street that I never even noticed. Small statues here. All praying upwards. Is that Alfred? It's Alfred! Alfred, my man, what are you doing here? I thought you'd been snatched. I thought you had been snatched. I'm so happy to see you.
Oh, good to see you safe. Now, let's think up something to discuss. Just tell me what piques your interest.
So, yeah, I asked him about the Healing Church, and it was something I'd already known about. And I've also talked to him about Bergenworth before, but I do want to talk about this again, since I think I'm about to go to Bergenworth based on the gold amulet thing.
Bergenworth is an old place of learning, and the Tomb of the Gods, carved out below Yharnam, should be familiar to every hunter. Well, once a group of young Bergenworth scholars discovered a holy medium deep within the tomb. This led to the founding of the Healing Church and the establishment of blood healing. In this sense, everything sacred in Yharnam can be traced back to Bergenworth. But today, the college lies deep within a tangled wood, abandoned and decrepit. And furthermore, the Healing Church has declared Bergenworth forbidden ground. It's unclear how many of its scholars remain alive, but only they know the password that allows passage through the gate.
So we have the password. We know Bergenworth was a tomb. They found something there that was to do with blood, and then it led to the whole Healing Church existing, right? But it's forbidden, it's in the woods, decrepit now. Okay, good to know.
Ah, there's something I want to tell you. A bit of wisdom from the eminent master Logarius. Once, a scholar betrayed his fellows at Bergenworth and brought forbidden blood back with him to Cainhurst Castle. It was there that the first of the inhuman Vile Bloods was born. The Vile Bloods are fiendish creatures who threaten the purity of the Church's blood healing. The ruler of the Vile Bloods is still alive today. And so, to honor my master's wishes, I search for the path to Cainhurst Castle.
Cainhurst Castle is where he wants to go to defeat the leader of the Vile Bloods. Have we seen a Vile Blood before? Because I don't really recall it. Maybe those weird that white monster things are Vile Bloods. Could be. But either way, they came out of the Bergenworth with this blood, and it caused the creation of a Vile Blood. And they're rampant or running around somewhere, and Alfred hates them, and his whole purpose is to defeat the leader of them. So maybe we'll help him do that.
I bid you farewell. It has been a pleasure. May the good blood guide your way.
Thank you very much for all the information, Alfred. You're very helpful. I was not expecting to see you. I really did think he was I thought he was captured, man. Look at those windmills, by the way. We've never seen those before. Very decrepit. There's another one very far over there. I wonder where this Cainhurst Castle is. What it looks like. He said it was deep in the woods as well. We can see the trees there. So this is the wooded area where these windmills are. So this must be the right... We must be going the right direction. Can't believe I missed that corridor. I just didn't see it, I guess. All these statues. So many of them. But I suppose this is the path to one of the most sacred areas of the Healing Church, so why not spam some of their oh so wonderful and glorious statues. By the way, in this whole Healing Church area, the statues are just statues, right? But in central Yharnam and the lower districts, the statues are chained up. What do you think that means?
The password.
Fear the Old Blood. The fuck? It's just it's a corpse. Who's the person who said the password? What? You're just a corpse, I don't understand. Already dead. Madman's knowledge. Who said the password? Who asked us for the password? If not but him. But he's been dead and dead for a long time. I don't think I should have gained a madman's knowledge there. I should have gained a normal man's confusion. Well, down we go into the tomb. Or so we're led to believe, anyway. Goes quite far down here. Like the spiral staircase. Quite satisfying to run down. Look how broken and beaten this tower is. It's completely just crumbling in on itself. We have a lot of blood echoes, I just noticed. Should probably head back to the Hunter's Dream at the next moment I get. Next opportunity. God, that tree almost looks like a hand, doesn't it? One that would grab you. Maybe I'm paranoid. More gravestones. Wouldn't be Bloodborne without a fuck ton of gravestones. Welcome to the Forbidden Woods. I do not feel safe here. But I suppose in all of Yharnam, at no point have I felt that safe, even in Uden Chapel and the Hunter's Dream. Something feels wrong at all times. So we've got some skeletons there. Oh! Some thick cold blood. Level 6. Still not as high level as the jail area. So I should be okay. Since I've defeated the jail area. See, leads down there. Oh, someone down there with a torch. Doesn't quite look like one of those mad women from the Channel Lane. But for a moment I did think it was one. And there's the first windmill and the second one not too far away. So heading in that direction. As we looked over, we saw, yeah, from way up there. Exactly that. Where is the next lantern? Because, again, I would love to head back to the Hunter's Dream. And spend these blood echoes. And I can't help but shake the feeling of ambush right now. Ambush in the woods feels normal to me. Wish it didn't. Yeah, I don't think that's a mad woman. In fact, it looks like a normal Yharnamite with a plough from Central Yharnam. You know, the ones that drag it along the floor with them, creating that eerie and creepy noise that adds so much to the atmosphere of Central Yharnam. We have a mutated one here, over here, the fully transformed lycanthrope. Although, could you class that as fully transformed if he's still in his human form? Note that these tree trunks that are cut up look just like the well that the messengers reside in the Hunter's Dream. I don't think that necessarily means anything specific. Oh! Ah! The fuck are you doing? I wonder what he just did to me. If I had to guess based on the symbol and the orange nature of it, I would say that damages my clothing's values, so I need to have my weapon and my armor repaired, perhaps. Look at this. He's got a nice campfire here. He looked like a farmer, actually. Perhaps this is the farmland of Yharnam. They've got to produce food somewhere, right? We've seen some areas that were similar to farmland or whatever, but it would make sense to have it down here where there are mills, windmills, you know, made for creating grain and bread and food. But it wouldn't make sense to have it here, would it? You know, this whole area... Get on the ground. This whole area is leading to Bergenworth, which is a sacred place, forbidden. You know, where the Healing Church was sort of founded. So it wouldn't really make sense that there'd be farmland here. But also, going against exactly what I just said, maybe the farmland was here before the Healing Church, and the Healing Church found it in this area, and then they sealed the area off. You know, it wouldn't necessarily be the farmers' fault that they sort of picked a nice spot that was suitable for farming, and then some jerk scholars happened to find some sort of ruin, or a tomb rather, decided to go in it, found something amazing in there. Really, that has nothing to do with the farmers. Now, your creepy breathing needs to stop, mate. So this is the farmer. You can see that he's very hairy and having a little bit of a transformation going on. But it almost looks like he's wearing a mask. That can't be his skin. Yeah, his eyes are covered just like many hunters we've seen in the game. Perhaps it's not hunters that cover their eyes, but Yharnamites as a whole. You know, I thought the lanterns were being held up by swords, but no, they're just like giant nails. It's quite silly the way they're there, but you know, I guess they make use of whatever they can. Keeping my eye open for ambushes. You know, we know there's a patrol here. I can hear a lantern, thank God. It seems to be inside the windmill. Oh no, I'm just blind. It's right here. We found one, guys. We found one. With 50k blood echoes, almost anyway. We found a lantern. Back to the Hunter's Dream we go. Let's do a little bit of leveling up. We have 40 insight, so I am very interested to have a look around the Hunter's Dream as well. I wonder if there's any changes there. Maybe the doll acts differently. Alright, we're here. The doll seems to be having a little bit of a rest. I see nothing new about her. Yet. Wake up, please.
Welcome home, good hunter. I must have drifted off. What is it you desire? Very well. Let me step.
Have you anything new to say?
Hunters have told me about the church, about the gold.
No. Okay. That's too bad.
Isn't that?
It's too bad. I'll keep looking. I just want to point out that I didn't notice that till now. We have one gravestone here for Central Yharnam, and that whole area, I suppose. We have one for Channel Lane, and they're completely different designs, these gravestones. This one, most creepy of all so far, is the jail area and the abandoned workshop area. You know, very creepy stuff. It's a creepy looking headstone. It almost looks like footprints in dampened mud. You know, leaving their footprints. This one, however, that we've not unlocked yet, is completely ripped in half and oozing blood. Very creepy. Gehrman doesn't appear to be here, but I'm not done searching for him yet. I did not find him in the gardens, so based on the usual, I would assume that he's not here. Back at the gate that we've still not unlocked. Still closed. Still closed. Central area of the more main garden, I suppose. Appears unchanged. I really was expecting something different to happen in here. When we reach 40 insight. So far, pretty disappointed. I suppose we'll see as we go on. But there you go, guys. 40 insight. That's today's episode. I hope you enjoyed. Plenty of interesting lore points that we spoke about. And as a whole, learned a lot. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If you've enjoyed the episode, do leave a like. There will be another one tomorrow. If you didn't get quite enough from today's episode. I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I will see you next time for some more Bloodborne.